What's up, Maha Gang? It's your girl, Maha the author, and you're listening to Sex Talk at 1 a.m., episode 3. I hope everyone is having a wonderful night. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to last week's episode. If you missed it, please check it out. You can find it on my website, www.ultrasmahazlan.com/podcast. Now, last week's episode was based on a form of intimacy, which was sexting. This week's episode is going to be another form of intimacy. That form of intimacy is going to be pelvic affection, aka PDA. And we all know what that is, right? You know, when you see a couple out and about holding hands, hugging, kissing, invading their partner's space, or even wrapped up in each other's arm. PDA is basically the physical aspect where you can show your partner some love, whether it's in public or in private. So you know what? We're going to talk about it. You know, we're not going to get too deep into it because there's so many different ways you can go with PDA when you actually really think about it. But we're just going to keep it to the base point. I know 9 times out of 10, the last time you may remember showing PDA is when you first met that special person. You know, it could have been in high school, it could have been when you graduated, or that sort of thing. You know, showing PDA wasn't even a question back in the day. Doing certain things with him or her was like the sweetest thing ever. You know, you would do things you wouldn't normally do. You would go the extra mile just to make sure he or she was happy, you know, showing them that you was all in no matter what. For example, let's just say y'all just started talking, fooling around a little bit, as the old people would say. You know, y'all can't keep your hands off each other. I mean, every chance you get is on and popping. And you didn't give a damn who saw y'all. You didn't give a damn what nobody had to say. And I'm talking about that no worries teenage kind of love. You just knew when you lay eyes on him, butterflies start swarming in your stomach. Hell, my husband still give me butterflies. So, yeah. Now, fast forward. You know, back then everything was all cute. You may, you know, talk to them on the phone. You're going to put on your sexiest voice. You know, if y'all together, you don't want to be away from that person for a long period of time. If you're with that person, you may whisper in their ear, you know, give me a kiss. You know, that sort of thing. But it'd be the sweetest thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Nobody had an issue with doing it back in the day. I mean, you couldn't wait to tell everybody how this person made you feel. You'll tell your homegirl, you'll tell your favorite cousin how you feel or that sort of thing. You just couldn't wait. You know, it was like you was all excited. You couldn't wait to share the way you felt about this person. Now, like I said, fast forward to a long-term relationship. You could be married or you just could be seeing this person for a long length of time. You know, you don't even have to be married. What changed? You know what I'm saying? What changed from back in the day till now? Why are people afraid of showing public affection in this day and age? You have to think about it. You know what I'm saying? You got to wonder what changed from back in the day to now. Well, I came to the conclusion as that some people are not comfortable touching in public. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like other people watching them. It's kind of crazy, though, to me because these people feel like people are judging them, you know, about what they're doing. But damn, these be the same people that will go home with their partner and be all over them, but don't want to do none of that shit out in the open. Them be the ones that want to love you in private, but not in public. Hello? You know, some people may say nothing is wrong with that. Yeah, well, if I'm being honest, you know, nothing is wrong with keeping it neutral out in public or that sort of thing. And when you're behind closed doors, you feel like you can do whatever you want. And that's okay. That's your business. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent. But me personally, I can't stand it. So let's go deeper. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with kissing, your man smacking you on the ass, or even you brushing up on your man's dick in public. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that. But that's just me. And another thing, why when someone sees y'all all in public doing this, you're constantly getting these look like they can't believe y'all or something. And I'm not talking about family, even though family could be one of the most jealous people in the world. But I'm talking about strangers. These people will give you a look of uncertainty. Or you may see them whispering, to someone they're with about y'all. And at the same time, when you see an elderly couple, now 40 is not old. 50, you're pushing it. 50-year-olds can still get down with the get down. But I'm talking about the 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds, and up. When you see them out as a couple, holding hands, pecking each other, or even holding the door, the first thing we say is, "Oh, they so cute. That's so cute." Why is that? Yeah, you can say that's so cute, but you can see someone else in their 20s or their 30s doing the same thing, but y'all always have something to say. You act like they are doing too much. Is it a double standard, or y'all just, some hating ass creatures? I see this shit all the time, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, we'll never be able to stop people from doing or acting like you're doing something wrong by showing PDA. My thing is, if you see people showing love out in public, whether it's kissing, hugging, or holding each other, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Quite frankly, it's only a few things you can do if you're not comfortable seeing someone showing PDA in public and you feel some type of way about it. One being, you can take your ass on somewhere. Yeah, I said it. If you're somewhere you don't feel comfortable, and the reason why is because you see this couple that you feel like is doing too much, because they're kissing, because they're holding on to their significant other, they're wrapped up with their significant other, then take your ass on somewhere. I'm pretty sure you can find your way. That's just my opinion. 2, if you're bold as fuck, you can walk up to them and express to them that being in love is bothering you. You can do that if you're bold. But be real careful going that route. Because you may get a look, that look, or you may get something worse. All because you didn't know how to mind your own damn business. Now, I'm not saying be out here in the restaurant, all in the booth, fucking all in the opening, or that sort of thing. No, I'm not saying that. But my thing is, if you're at a restaurant with your significant other, enjoying each other's company, the conversation is flowing, you guys are smiling, what's wrong with that? You're leaning over the table, pecking his lip, and vice versa. Or you may be sitting on the same side and you're hugging each other, arms around each other, or even taking a picture together. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? I don't see anything wrong with that. We get these couples that I touched on last episode about, rather them being face-to-face couples, they want to be phone couples. They want to be phone couples, basically. You're out in a restaurant, you're sitting across from your significant other, and you're supposed to be together on a date. People don't date anymore. But yeah, you're supposed to be on a date, and the only thing y'all doing is head down, paying attention to whatever is on your phone, rather than your partner. What is that? I guess that's how y'all date. You know what I'm saying? That's not how I date. But, Nothing is wrong with y'all being on a date. You know, you may have a outfit that you saved just for that date. You may have a new hairdo. You may just got your hair did, you know, just for the date. You know, if it's planned or that sort of thing, you got your new hairdo. Your man is rubbing down your face, you know, complimenting you on your hairdo, telling you he loves it. You know, trust me. Trust me. Your significant other complimenting you, y'all all close together, invading each other's space. Listen, trust me, your pussy is going to be wetter than a river. And men, if your lady is showing you just as much attention, then I already know your dick going to be harder than a fool. Hello. But anyway, another PDA I personally like and always make me feel some kind of way in the beginning stage and still do till today is when your significant other introduce you as their old lady or their woman. Man, please. Please. And you ain't even got to be married. If y'all just boyfriend and girlfriend and he introduce you as his girl or his baby, man, please. Who don't like that? Who don't like that? I mean, your damn heart start fluttering. Your blood goes to rushing to your head. You get all excited. You're smiling hard as hell. But hey, that's just me. So, yeah, all y'all shy people, embarrassed folks need to go on somewhere with that. It's nothing wrong with showing your partner you miss them. It's nothing wrong with hugging and shit in public. Nothing wrong with holding hands. Nothing wrong with them wrapping their arms around you and vice versa. Shit, man, grab an ass cheek. Let these niggas know what's yours. In a good way, though. Because the onlookers can tell when your shit is fake. I'm here to tell you. The insecure people who be doing too much, yeah, those be the fake ones. But that's a different topic for a different day. Like I said, it's nothing wrong with showing PDA, but in moderation, I will say that. And if somebody got something smart to say, I wouldn't even worry about it. I'll just let them keep hating. Because obviously, that's the issue. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it. You know, y'all got to get out of this shyness or whatever it is. Shy about doing stuff with your man. You know, you embarrassed to do stuff in front of people with your man. What is it? You know, people is afraid of showing PDA nowadays. I mean, your man opening the door for you, holding the door for you. Not just opening it for you, they're holding it for you as well. They not doing that no more? They not doing that no more? Come on now. Last time I checked, mine was. What about you? Y'all let me know, because it's getting real crazy out here. People looking at you all crazy. But like I said, when they see an elderly couple doing it, it's cute. You know, it's all I want to be like that when we get older. What's wrong with now, sis? And quite frankly, if you grew up seeing your mom and dad showing affection like that when you was younger, then you shouldn't have a problem seeing anyone kissing in a line or at a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have a problem with anyone being all up on each other, you know, them showing each other love like that. When your parents showed the same kind of affection when you was younger. But now, all of a sudden, nowadays, people are looking at other people crazy. And those be the same people who are scared to show PDA. And when you think about it, it all boils down to who you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with your significant other or the guy or girl you're dating, being affectionate in public means not being afraid to display the love y'all have for each other. If we kiss in public, who gonna say something? Why do anyone even care Why is anyone putting forth energy worrying about what anybody else is doing in their relationship when you should be minding your own business? That's all you have to do. Because trust me, if you witness a couple out in the public and they're not comfortable with each other, then their body language is going to tell it all. Yeah, the body language is going to tell it. And it's basically going to tell that he or she is faking it, or one person is trying too hard. Maybe they're jealous or insecure. Maybe they are with their man and see a group of girls staring him down. You trying to wrap your arm around him and he's not even paying attention to you. That's the wrong kind of PDA. I'm not even trying to promote that kind of PDA. Because obviously it's something wrong within y'all relationship. Which y'all need to go and see someone about that. Yeah, you definitely have to go see someone about that. Because it's something deeper that's going on. And PDA ain't going to help it. It's actually going to make it worse. I'm here to tell you. Now, another form of PDA is social media. You know, we use social media all the time. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. You may make a post. You may tag your partner in. You may add some heart emoji or that sort of thing. But it's still people out here who don't like to show PDA even on social media. And my question is, why? Why is that? You know, if you have nothing to hide, if this is the person you're with, then it shouldn't be a question, no ifs and buts about it, or no second guess what you want to put on there, or if you want to tag them, or you want to give them some love, or that sort of thing. It shouldn't be no question. And I have heard people tell me all the time, someone may have asked them, why you don't post so-and-so, why you don't do this, why you don't do that, and their answer be, it ain't nobody's business. It ain't nobody's business, you know, that sort of thing. Why? Like, why? What's wrong with posting your significant other? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with that? I never understood why people have such a big issue with posting their significant other or person to person they're dating or that sort of thing. You know, if y'all have a solution or if y'all have, you know, any insight to tell me or anything like that on why it is such a big issue with posting your significant other or showing any PDA versus, you know, social media, then let me know. You know, let me know. Like, fill me in. If you're one of those people who feel like you don't have to post your husband, you don't have to post your boyfriend, you know, and vice versa, and you have a legitimate reason why you feel like you don't have to show any PDA or anything of that sort on social media, then let me know. You know, fill me in on it because I don't understand. I really don't. And like I said, all of that goes hand in hand with showing public affection out in the open. Woo, child. We people got to get together. Y'all let me know. If you got a problem with PDA, leave a comment on my Sex Talk at 1 a.m. Facebook page, and we'll talk about it. I promise you we'll talk about it. But that's it, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 3. If you want to stay connected with me, follow me on Facebook at Sex Talk at 1 a.m. Follow me on Instagram at Sex Talk at 1 a.m. And that's the show. Tune in to next week. Bye, you guys.